Hey, welcome to Q&A, where you ask your questions on faith and life, and I do my best to give a biblical perspective. Well, we have a question today that most people are going to have a view one way or the other on, and more than likely, some people's views will be stronger than others, and I totally get it. Certainly, it's a question that I've had to wrestle with over the years, particularly as my own children entered into adulthood and wrestle with this themselves. So let's jump into today's question. Having an ongoing debate with a friend about tattoos, does the Old Testament laws about them still apply, seeing as we are a temple of the Holy Spirit? Well, you've got two different things in play here. The Old Testament laws plus this idea that we're the temple of the Holy Spirit. So let's deal with the first part. Does the Old Testament law about them still apply? Well, first of all, let's be clear about what those Old Testament laws are. The Old Testament laws that have to do with tattooing, for example, in Leviticus 19, have to do with tattooing as part of the mourning process to celebrate the dead. It's not tattoos in general, and it's not like a lot of cultural tattoos today, which show family trees and are honoring our ancestors. It's part of the mourning process, people cutting themselves as part of the mourning process, or else they have to do with celebrating the occult or occultic objects, practices, those sorts of things. So that's what the Old Testament law has to do with. So it's not speaking about tattoos specifically or tattoos in general. And I would want to say that where it does talk about it, that in my view today, that unless you are specifically being tattooed to celebrate the occult, then go ahead with good conscience. You're not offending against God. You're not offending against the Old Testament. Now, you've also contrasted that with, you've said, as though because we're the temple of the Holy Spirit, then surely that should trump whatever the Old Testament laws have to say. Well, I get what you're getting at, but I'm not sure that I think that being a temple of the Holy Spirit has something to say one way or the other about tattooing. You know, there would be those who say, because we're a temple of the Holy Spirit, we shouldn't deface ourselves or defile ourselves with a tattoo. Well, all that's doing is expressing your views about tattoos. You don't see them as art, you see nothing redeeming in them, and you think that Christians shouldn't have them. And that's fine. You're entitled to that view, and you wouldn't be alone in having it. However, there would be equally other Christians who see tattooing as an art form, and therefore it's entirely appropriate to have tattoos as part of honoring the temple, decorating the temple, and adorning the temple of the Holy Spirit, just as we would hang art in a house, and on it goes. So I wouldn't want to say because we're the temple of the Holy Spirit, that says something, pardon me, one way or the other about tattoos. It's just giving us a guideline that if we're going to have tattoo, make sure that it's in keeping with the things of God. Make sure that it is in some way honoring God, whether it be because it's celebrating family, whatever it is, but not having things like swastikas and all those sorts of things, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's how I would see it. There's probably a time when I would have said tattoos, Christians should never have tattoos because it's defacing the temple of the Holy Spirit and all that sort of stuff. I don't hold that view anymore. Do I want one? No. Do I approve of them? Well, it's not my thing. But do I know people who have them? Absolutely. Do I judge them for it? No. It's their thing. It's appropriate for them. God bless them. It's one of those disputable matters. Just as they have them and it's not my thing, I probably do things that aren't their thing. And that's part of being family. So yeah, that's my view. Love to hear your thoughts on it. Why don't you post them below? But hey, if you've got a question on faith and life, jump over to slido.com, use the hashtag askhamish. Love to hear from you. But that's it for now. Until next time, God bless.